Oh yeah? Just do it? Just do it.
Just do it.
Just do it. All right. Hi, everybody. I just wanted to come down and present this really quickly because I don't know if y'all know about the LSU Science Cafe. Have y'all heard about that?
It's where us loser faculty go and hang out and talk about science.
Anyway, anybody can go to it. It's going to be at the Varsity Theater, but you can also go Facebook Live or something like that at 6 o'clock. I thought it was at 5, but it's at 6. So it's something that is really interesting because they'll have some Pennington professors there talking about using AI to determine the appropriate diet. You may have heard of some of this. Eric Ravison and Leanne Redmond from Pennington are going to be giving a presentation. I think it sounds real interesting. So I'm going to go to that. So I just wanted to tell everybody about a few opportunities. We go out into the community a lot and do like cooking demonstrations and things like that. And so I wanted to give everybody a chance to know what's coming up and so that you can sign up for these opportunities. So the first one, I don't know if you all remember Allie Schletter, but she's just wonderful, former student of ours, and she's been hired to be the community engagement coordinator for the Red Stick Farmers Market Breda. And so she contacted me and said that she wanted to do a couple of cooking demos where we're showing people at the markets how to reduce waste. So how to use leftover piece, like the onion skins and stuff like that to make a good vegetable stock. The challenge for me though is that it's during spring break. But if you're going to be around and not doing anything for spring break, it'll be a real good opportunity for you to get some volunteer opportunities. But the other thing about it is it's really fun. It's fun to go to the Red Stick Market. The farmers are all there, just a blast. So the 2 dates for the 2 things that I was talking about are March 16th from 8 to 12 at Pennington. And then the other one is March 18th at the Red Stick Market that's a Saturday, downtown, 8 to 12. We've been working with them for a long time, and it's good to get back into the swing of it now that we don't have to limit our activities. They also give out little tokens to children so that the children can participate in learning activities. It's called Red Stick Sprouts, and the kids go to a little area on the Saturday market, and we can either teach them about nutrition, do a smoothie activity. They're going to even have an activity for mindful eating with children. That ought to be interesting. So Cassie said that these sign-up opportunities will be in an email.
Yes, in a follow-up email. We'll post this PowerPoint as well.
Okay. The other one is Interfaith Federation Health Fair. If you had 2112 with me last semester, you know about my engagement with what's called the Holy Grill, which is in North Baton Rouge, and they're going to have a health fair there. Interfaith Federation does this twice a year and usually one in the spring and one in the fall. And there will be a lot of people there who you can network with, people from Pennington, people from Southern University, the Ag Center, and extension agents, Oxner Outreach, all of them come and have a table there. And we do demos or show videos. And so if somebody likes to do videos, something that they'll have is a screen there for people to watch cooking demos and that sort of thing. They also demonstrate how to plant. They're trying to get the people in that community to do more gardening. So I have lots of kitty litter boxes, and they take my kitty litter boxes and they fill them with dirt and then put plants in them and teach people how to grow tomatoes or peppers in a little plastic container. you can't recycle these containers. Who has cats? Okay, so you know those heavy plastic containers, you can't recycle them unless you figure out a way to get more litter into them. But they're great for using as planters. They've figured out how to poke some holes in them and put some drainage material in them. So this is another opportunity. Tracy Dulhet, who also known as Chef Tracy, they are working on doing a food pantry for teenagers at Glen Oaks High School. And they are gonna have a training. They're partnering with the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, and she needs people to do all these things. So just know that there'll be a lot of opportunities to volunteer to help. I think it will be enjoyable because I think you can really make a difference in this kind of volunteer work. I'm going to be meeting with a student, Lauren Langley. She's a architecture grad student, but wants to do some activities, make some changes in the built environment to make it so that what I was just talking about, improving the lives of the people who live in, I don't know how many of you are from Baton Rouge, but if you know about North Baton Rouge and the Plank Road corridor and that whole area where there's a lot of poverty, a relatively high level of food insecurity. So working in the built environment and trying to improve food access, make it possible for people to find walkways and places to get more exercise, that kind of thing. So we're going to have a virtual meeting March 7th, and if you're interested in that, I'll send you the link. All right. Then this summer, well, I guess it's summer, early summer, late spring, they're going to have a summer camp for children here at LSU, learning how to speak languages, other languages, German and Spanish, and cook food that's German food and Spanish food. The dates are June 2nd for German and June 9th for Spanish. So if you speak Spanish or German, or if you like to cook German or Spanish food, and you want to participate in this, we've done this kind of thing in past summers and really had fun. So this is another opportunity. Just let me know if you want to be involved in it. Study abroad, it's going to happen this year. You know, doggone coronavirus caused me a lot of trouble. Last year, they were saying that we couldn't do it. We had plans, we were ready to do it, and they said that we couldn't do it because I'd have to stay in Greece if any students got COVID and stay there for 2 weeks after. It just got crazy. But now, it's gonna happen this winter. So I've just very simple information here. I have a lot more details for you if you're interested. We have class here in the United States at LSU between the 14th and the 24th. And then you have Christmas with your family, and I fly out, and I'm already in Greece, but you then fly to Greece and we come back. I'm not sure yet if it's gonna be the 8th or the 9th of January, but lots of fun. 6th grade day, help me and Mercedes teach 6th graders from East Baton Rouge Parish how to eat better and learn more about School of Nutrition and Food Science. Another thing that we do that was in the pictures at the very beginning, we work with Hope Ministries and do food demos. Most of the time it's Cassie and Mercedes, but we would love to have other people involved in this. It's a client choice food bank, if you've ever heard of that, and what that means is they're shelves full of food, and the clients get to pick what they want. And what we ran into in the past was that they didn't necessarily know how to prepare some of the foods. You've heard me talk about how the black beans were on the shelf, and we had to go and create some recipes so that they would taste test them and then be willing to take the black beans home and cook them. So they have a Mr. Eddie's Kitchen, a wonderful kitchen for us to do demonstrations. So if you're interested in that, let us know.
Those are on the first and third Fridays and Mondays of the month. So 4 times a month. Mercedes and I usually get there around 7:45, 7:30, and then we're off campus by 9. So if you have class at like 10:30, there's plenty of time to get back to class. So it's really fun.
So let us know, just let us know. And then just a reminder, I think probably everybody knows that Ag Magic, they're looking for volunteers. All right, that's it. So know that you can contact me if any of that was interesting. The PowerPoint will be available to you. The sign-up sheets are, click on sign-up sheets for you. All right.
Thank you, Ms. Hines.
Thank you.
So now Ms. Catherine will take over.
All right. So I am Catherine Keane. I decided to change my name 2 years after I got married as an anniversary present for my husband. That was after I worked here and was Catherine Bowie, so my email is forever Catherine Bowie. Sorry if that's confusing. I graduated from LSU back in 2018. I worked at Pennington. She talked about Pennington a lot. I worked for Metabolic Research Kitchen. I loved it there. I went through DICUS. I think you all submitted all your stuff for that recently. And then I decided, because I knew back then in 2018 that I was going to do a dual master's program because I knew in 2024 it was going to be a requirement. So we knew that all the way back in 2018. I went to the University of Southern Mississippi for my dietetic internship and my master's program. We did half and half. Half of it was management, the other half was clinical. And I did that at the VA in Jackson, Mississippi, as well as a bunch of different community areas, different schools, and everything like that. So the internship was really fun, and I think y'all enjoyed that. So I started at LSU Dining last semester. Not last semester, last spring, actually a year ago today, February 28th. It was the day before Mardi Gras last year, so nobody was here, but I started. So the cool thing is that I don't actually work for LSU. I work for Compass Group, which is a massive company. I think we are like the 11th largest company in the world. It has 27 subsectors underneath it, including healthcare, like Morrison, K through 12, college, concessions, and everything like that. But I actually work for one of the subgroups called Chartwell's Higher Education, and we've been contracted by LSU for the last 25 years. I have not been here for 25 years, but that's how long Chef John Jackson has been here, and he's my boss here. We have roughly 300 campuses and about 40 dietitians in our company. We meet monthly and talk about everything that's going on with our students and everything like that, and just gather and share information that we can help each other with. My role, so I started last spring, and they really brought on a dietitian because the number of students with food allergies continues to grow. I think about 1 in 13 children right now have a food allergy, and about 32 million Americans. You're seeing less and less children go out of food allergies, and it just continues to grow, as well as those major allergens. I'm sure y'all are all aware. They just added a new major allergen, sesame, to the 9 major allergens. And so they brought me on to kind of help those students within the dining halls, and there's, I believe, 28 different food service units on campus. So they kind of brought me on just as a campus dietitian, and that to provide guidance and things like that for students on campus. So I meet with students one-on-one. They reach out to me and we'll plan a meeting. I outline their responsibilities as a student with food allergies or dietary concerns. I like to remind them that they are their own biggest advocate, so I'm glad that they reached out to me and we can help them navigate the dining halls. I provide guidance on their specific dietary restrictions. Obviously we have a lot with those major allergens. We have a lot of different ones, like students who are allergic to citrus and everything like that. Low FODMAP students, diabetic students, Crohn's, all kinds of things like that we help them to navigate within the dining halls. I do an allergen training for all the associates. I do weekly orientations with all of our new employees, ensuring that they know the proper ways to prevent cross contact, as well as just ways to handle customer questions and everything like that. And then I also do allergen identification and labeling process within the dining halls. This is one thing that people can do differently. Our company doesn't label contain statements. What they like to do is have clear nomenclature across everything. So what you'll see is if something has some of the top 9 allergens, they want it to say cheesy chicken bacon ranch wrap. They want that clear nomenclature, not just chicken wrap or things like that. So I want it in the title of the item, clear nomenclature that way. And then also I do things like wellness events, highlight superfoods, things like that. I think we have like a ginger turmeric smoothie thing coming up, and then teaching kitchens where I'll highlight, healthy ways to do things, provide them with some knife skills, basic cooking things that they can do not only going forward, but as well as within their dorms. We did sushi bowls last week, highlighting omega-3s and things like that. Sustainability is really kind of one of the chefs has taken charge of that, but I like to kind of get into it at times. Within the dining halls, we do pre-consumer waste, so we do stuff with organics, which is where we combine all of our pre-consumer waste. That's your scraps, lettuce, bread, things like that. And we scrape that into bins, and they pick it up, and it goes to pig farms, cows, things like that. And then we also have a really cool post-consumer waste, which is our leftovers and things like that. We put these in really big, you've probably seen them if you walk behind one of the dining halls. We put them in really big blue bins, and it goes to a thing called Black Soldier Fly program, which is where they put it's really gross, but they put like little larvae for black flies in there, and they eat a ridiculous amount of waste. So that's kind of how they grow, and that's the way that we do our post-consumer. We also are trying to get this Aussie Box program started, which is reusable containers for to-go boxes, because to-go boxes became a really big thing with COVID. So we've been working on that. And then I do stuff with the daycare as well. It's a little bit smaller. It's more so just helping out with those students with food allergies and things like that within our daycare that's on campus. Okay, so when you work for a really big company, they have cheesy sayings sometimes. So one of our biggest things is don't be shy, self-identify. And that's, like I said, where we're telling those students to be their biggest advocate, to reach out and let us know whenever they have concerns. So kind of whenever I spoke about responsibilities for the student, it's kind of that we want them to speak up, which means kind of let me know you have a food allergy, so that way you're aware of everything that we can do for you. I hate it, but I don't know if y'all seen, there's a poster that has, if you have a food allergy or dietary concern, reach out. My husband will take pictures of it and send it to me to be silly. People are like, oh, sweet. No, he does it to make fun of me. And kind of register. Students don't realize one thing that one of the first things I direct them to do is to register with the Office of Disability. They're like, well, I don't have a disability. It's not necessarily that you have a specific disability like people would generally think of, but if you need those extra accommodations, like students with peanut allergies, they don't necessarily want to be in a dorm with a roommate that's going to have peanut butter fingers, stick their fingers all over everywhere, and you can have an allergic reaction. So it's just making sure that the campus is aware of your allergies as well. Contact. So that means reach out to me. I'm going to sit down with you, talk about your dietary concerns, everything like that. Meet the team. I'm going to introduce you to our chefs. We have great chefs on campus, and then report. So I also want you not to disappear. Let me know how things are going, and reach out if you have a reaction, or if something happens that you didn't enjoy, and find out things that we can do better. So it's just staying in touch. Handling food allergies, dietary restrictions. These are my 3 big ways of handling them on campus. So don't be shy, self-identify again. We prefer to deal with student-related allergen requests in a one-on-one fashion. So that's getting together, finding out your specific dietary concerns, how severe your allergy is, going through all those processes so we're aware of everything that we can do for you. Ingredient experts, that is going to be my chefs within my dining halls. Like I said, I do allergen training on a weekly basis, also an annual basis. I do it with the full groups once a semester as well. But my chefs and my managers and supervisors all take additional trainings. So that way, another silly saying that we have in our company is they are ingredient experts. So one of the big things I tell my students is I want them to always ask for the chef whenever they have an ingredient question and things like that. And they're not only just going to go up and say, yeah, you're safe with this item. What they're going to do is they're going to cover all the preparation methods with you. They're going to go over that recipe with you. They are going to show you the ingredients, provide you with those labels, so that way the student can make an informed decision for themselves and feel more confident in their food choices. So I always want them to go to that ingredient expert to answer those questions. And then our biggest thing is the Pure Eat Station, which is available at the 5 dining hall. And that is where we've created a rotating menu that avoids all of the top 9 allergens, including wheat, tree nuts, peanuts, milk, eggs, soy, fish, shellfish, and sesame. And gluten is also removed from that daily menu. At that location, we prepare everything in a separate location, and only trained individuals are working there. They use their own cutting boards, knives, utensils, everything like that. And they're also serving the food there to prevent that cross contact from students. So everything's prepared in that location. We also use single source ingredients, and we're going to prepare those items where we're using single source ingredients that are easily identifiable, so students feel more comfortable asking about for recipes. They can see clearly what's on there. We're not using processed things that were made already that can have, you know, misleading labels and things like that. So those are my 3 big areas that I use to help our students on campus. Don't be shy, self-identify is kind of my go-to for everywhere, because while at the 5 we have that Pure Eat Station, that's because at the 5, I'm not sure if y'all have been in there, we have a little bit more space there, so we're able to have that location that things can be prepared separately, preventing that cross contact. But at the 4, 5, 9, they're a little bit more squished, so we couldn't have a full Pure Eat Station, and we just abide by that. Don't be shy, self-identify, and you use a system called Chatback, where you're able to reach out, a message goes to the chefs and everyone in there, and you tell them, hey, this is my name, these are my dietary restrictions, could you prepare me, and you can order something specific for yourself in there. I only refer my students with dietary restrictions to that system, but they're able to reach out in there if they want chicken, rice, steamed veggies, if they want soup, if they want sandwiches, anything like that. They can request it through there, and then our ingredient experts are going to prepare that item for them specifically. So that's kind of what we abide by throughout campus. We do that at the 5 as well, but the 4, 5, 9 does not have the Pure Eats location. Like I said, allergies are continuing to grow, as well as those students reaching out with celiac disease, gluten intolerance, and all those fun things. So what we do for them is we do have the Pure Eat Station that avoids gluten on a daily rotating basis, but something else that we do is we try to create brands of specific items in the back, and they also utilize that Chatback system. One of the reasons why we have to keep it in the back is because gluten is a big thing that everyone wants to avoid. So if we were to keep it out, there's no way to prevent that cross contact specifically on the line from other students, as well as everyone going and grabbing that, and we wouldn't know if we'd have enough for our students with severe celiac or gluten intolerance. So we do keep things behind the line like pizza crust, cereal, desserts, pastas, breads, items for the grill, and we can also just make them those specific chicken and really anything that they just like that's outside of those avoiding gluten options. So we do keep those on hand for them to create as well. One of the other things I do is I always like to ask them what brands they like to use, so I can see if I can also purchase that for them individually to be able to order and use. So that's all the kind of like specifics of going through my day-to-day stuff. My big concern is I am the advocate and point of contact for those students with food allergies, working with them. Like we have our low FODMAP student who really has to have every single meal prepared for them, and kind of working out plans for them beyond what we just do as a company. So if y'all have any questions for me or anything.
Being like a dietitian yourself, what's it like having a chef as your boss, like someone that you report to instead of working with a dietitian?
So he's not just one of the chefs in the dining halls, he's the senior executive chef, so he's kind of just over one of the higher ups in the whole company in this area. He's very respectful, realizes that I am the person who is aware about all these different restrictions and everything. I kind of, like low FODMAP for instance, that's one where I get with the chefs, I work a lot with them, make sure they're educated on what can occur with that. So it's really a working with them and everything. He's just, who I report to. He's very respectful and I enjoy working with him.
So like, would you students sign contracts saying that like if there was cross-contamination?
So they don't sign contracts or anything. What they do whenever they sit down with me is I kind of go through, discuss, what their allergies are or what their restrictions are. Talk about everything that we can do for them, and then I talk about whether or not they feel comfortable with those restrictions, and that they'll let me know if something were to happen. We really want them to report it if there ever is any cross contact immediately, so that way we can address it for sure. Any other questions for me? No, so I meet with them just at the dining halls, and I'll sit down with them and I'll talk about what we can do. I'll even walk them through the line, introduce them with the chef at the dining hall that they want to eat at and everything like that. So I'll sit down with them at the dining hall. There is a dietitian at the Student Health Center, and we refer students back and forth to each other a lot.
So like if something doesn't go
No, they can. I've had students reach out to me that don't have a meal plan to meet about healthy eating and things like that. I'm just here for the general campus, but I do work for Chartwell, so I'll meet with them in the dining halls and things like that. Yeah.
Would you say, is there like any challenges you have while working at LSU Dining?
Any challenges that I have? Yeah, sometimes, making sure that chefs are fully aware of the importance of things. Like with low FODMAP, whenever I was describing that to them and going through the process of that, just making sure that everyone is fully knowledgeable. Our general station workers, getting them all trained and making sure that they're aware. Well, I don't want students, coming up to them and them answering questions because they're not the ingredient expert, but making sure that they're aware of their role in preventing cross contact in the back of the kitchen, ensuring everyone's trained and everything like that. So I would say ensuring everyone is always knowledgeable would be a challenge for sure. So we actually have a really cool program, because we're such a big company. Compass has a full spread out menu for our, how would I describe it? For not only all of the Chartwell Higher Education college dorms, but also for healthcare and everything like that, and it's cycle menus. And there are dietitians building these menus, and we all get together on those monthly meetings, and talk about where we can improve they call it an 80-20 menu, so 80% compliance, 20% freedom, because like you're aware of cultural differences. In California, they're not as interested in gumbo as they are over here. So we do, as a whole, within those meetings, kind of have a say within it. It is an 80-20, so we have to be 80% compliant with the company. But they do build out things with special requirements like certain amount of vegetables. Our vegan-vegetarian station has to have 15 grams of protein, ensuring that they're getting all of that. So there are guidelines for all of those things. Yeah. Any other questions for me? In working for LSU Dining? So whenever I was in school over here, I really liked Miss Shelley's class. That was one of my favorites. I know everyone's always clinical. I really did like management, and during my internship, I really liked that community side. I am kind of in like a niche situation where it's more of like a wellness community, allergy, dietary restriction kind of situation, rather than specifically management. I do help with training and ensuring all of that, but I just liked it more than the clinical hospital side. There are parts of the hospital that I enjoyed, but it's such quick turnovers with patients and things like that. I didn't feel like I had that relationship with them. Whereas in this situation, I've been working with some students for a year, so I get to see them and have relationships more so with the people that I'm helping out, if that makes sense. Any other questions for me? Nope? Well, yeah,
It
yeah.
is, it's very niche, like you said.
It is very niche. I talked to one of my friends who's in dialysis, and she's like, "Oh, this really sad thing happened." I'm like, "I'm doing an avocado toast convention tomorrow." And it's also cool, you get your holidays and things like that working in a college. So I really enjoyed that. But yeah, I do, like I mentioned, I have those teaching kitchens, wellness events. I'm always looking to add more fun things. If there were any times that any of you wanted to volunteer, or
You talked about an intern. Is that like a dietetic intern or like a student?
it's a student worker.
Okay,
Yeah,
nice.
yeah. So I don't preceptor. I don't believe that is. I mean, I'm sure we could do that, but that's not something that I'm doing at the moment with
Right.
it. But yeah, it's a student intern. Melanie is my student intern.
Okay.
So she helps me with all the fun stuff that, teaching kitchens, wellness events. She does little Take Care Tuesdays on Instagram, things like that. So yeah, for sure. But yeah, if y'all ever want to volunteer or find ways to get involved, my email's right there. Like I said, it's Catherine.Bowie, not Catherine Keane, so that's confusing. But yeah, all right. If there's no questions for me, I'll let y'all continue on with all y'all's important stuff.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Also, as a gift for your time,
Oh, thank you so much.
Lydia coordinated this. She's the one you've been talking to.
Thank you so much. Can I look at it? Oh, a cup. So I can stay hydrated. Very nice. Yeah.
Love it.
All right. Thank you so much. Let me log out of this. You're good.
Log it out of your hair.
For the National Nutrition Month. Also, I don't know if everyone realizes, but spring break is in 2 weeks. We have a whole week off. So, quick turnaround.
All right. Y'all have a good rest of y'all's day.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank y'all.
So next month, same meeting, same time. No. Oh, I can barely hear you. Can everybody hear me now? Next month we have Miss Brooke from the Women's Center for Wellness coming. Cameron works with her, and I heard she's like really fun to work with. She's so cool. What does she specialize in again?
I don't really know what she specializes in. I think she's like the manager over the. I'm not really sure, but they do a lot of like pre-diabetes, diabetes, weight loss, surgery, education, stuff like that.
Okay.
So
So if you're interested in diabetes and education, then definitely make sure to come at the end of next month. Keep track of your volunteer experience, especially with awards coming up in April. Keep doing those. Be consistent with those and take lots of pictures so we have stuff for Instagram. Shirts and sweatshirts are still on sale. How many are left? Enough to be interested and to contact Dr. McKinley if you want one. Some scholarship recipients. Round of applause. Miss Raven, Cameron, and Rachel got their grad school and DI application scholarships. We'll hear about those soon. So underclassmen, the application was due last week, and then we won't hear back until what?
April 2nd.
April 2nd.
At 6 p.m.
Yes.
Next week is the land conference. That's what we're gonna talk about.
Yeah, tomorrow's the last day to register before late registration kicks in, so it's over the course, it's Thursday afternoon and most of the day on Friday. So it's a great opportunity to be in the same room with a lot of dietitians across the state. We have an awesome slate of speakers and exhibitors that will be there. We'll have research posters. Feel free to check with your NFS professors if you can not go to class, you can go to this. I'm sure they won't have a major problem with it unless you have an exam. But if you wanna go, it's only like $55 for students. But on Friday, we feed you twice.
Nice.
And volunteers.
Yeah, I'm working on that now, trying to figure out what exactly I need, where, how, why, all the things. I'll send a separate email with this probably tomorrow, with all of the explanations of what the positions are, since there are some in multiple locations at multiple times. So I'll send that out tomorrow for sure.
And you have to be registered for, yes.
You can come in any time, you still
Yes.
just have to register for the whole day.
Yeah. Cause, on this slide it's outlined, I'm sure there's a more
It's on the
detailed
website.
schedule
Yeah,
of
the
like
agenda's on the website.
who's speaking at what times, wherever
You
you're
like
interested.
pick and choose which sessions you wanna go to, kind of?
There's one each hour.
Okay,
We didn't double up sessions because a lot of people doesn't have the space.
yeah,
But someone could leave for an hour and come back
right.
if they need to. Yeah, if you need
Oh,
to
yeah.
come after your exam, that's totally fine. We'll have a check-in table at the door the whole time. So,
Yes. Okay. And then a scholarship for attending the conference as well. That's due next Monday if you're interested. But sign up by tomorrow and then apply to get refunded. That's how it's gonna work. Here's the National Nutrition Month calendar. Lots of stuff going on. Ag Week is still to be determined, but freshmen, that's usually a really fun week in the College of Ag. They do everything, something different every day, and it ranges from like tie-dye to food by Wooden Hall to different things like around campus in the different departments. So that's a really fun week. And then Ag Week, Ag Magic starts the 23rd and goes through actually April 2nd. So if you have any free hour or two, sessions are actually usually 2 hours. It's going to be at the Parker Coliseum by the Ag Lot if you park there on campus.
So this calendar is in a Google Drive that you'll get a link to in the follow-up email, and then it'll also be on Facebook. So I will continue to update it as I get stuff. So we'll just keep updating the link, more on the Facebook page then. By the end of the month, the thing's full.
Yes. Yes. Oh, I can talk about that. Yes, you can sign up to take over the Instagram. We give you the login and you just post throughout the day, wherever you'd like to post. And that's appropriate. Appropriate, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, as like a nutrition student.
I'm going to class, I'm doing my research,
Yeah, I'm doing homework.
I'm getting life.
Mine's fine.
This is my job.
And then also mindset.
It's pretty much whatever you wanna do, just to kind of engage people, and you wanna talk about a nutrition topic that you have a like vested interest in. I say that to you, Corinne, because you have ones. Everyone's got their thing they like to talk about, so.
Also, we're starting donations for the Easter baskets. For the April 3rd. We'll collect for April 3rd. Yes. Oh, can be delivered Friday.
That's next
Okay.
month, that was a tough part.
No.
Yeah, we're getting for the conference. And then this is the link to a bunch of the sign up links. So board elections. If you're interested in being elected to be president-elect, which is Lydia's position, she'll be president next year, take over my spot. And then secretary and treasurer are open. You can apply through this link and you just fill out the application and we'll all vote. It's like a club vote to see who would win the spots.
It's not an application, it's just a paragraph like talk about how great you are and why you
Yeah.
should be in that position, and then your picture, and then we use your picture in the ballot, so everyone knows who they're voting for. We make whatever you send, I'll put together in a
On a
Google
doc.
folder, and we'll share that with the group, and folks can go in and click your bio, see your picture, read your little spiel about why you wanna be whatever, and then make your decision.
Last year we did like an Instagram
Mhm.
We did, yeah. Yeah, we encouraged those that were running to take over the Instagram like the week or two leading up to the election, which I think helped. I think everybody that got elected, there's a direct correlation there from last year, like everyone who got elected was on Instagram at some point. So, we won't do elections until after the March meeting, but we can do, if you're planning to run and you wanna do a takeover, you can go and toss that in as a, cause you can nominate yourself and you're pretty much on the ballot. Like, I don't say, unless, the only thing that we're gonna say no to is if you're an incoming senior and you wanna be president-elect, you can't. You have to be a current freshman or sophomore, so that you're here for 2 years. It's the only way I would come back and say, sorry, pick another position.
So chairs can put their name on the ballot and then officers.
So what happens with the chair positions, what we've done the last couple of years, is that we usually have a decent amount of people running for stuff. And so whoever doesn't win their elected position, they get first choice, first rank of what chair position they want. So current chairs that haven't graduated can opt to stay in their position, and then whatever's open will fill with those folks first, and then we'll open it to everybody else. We just wanna make sure those who want leadership positions get leadership positions at some point.
So you won't have to run for a chair position.
No. That's appointed by me.
Yeah. Okay. Like I was talking about with tracking your points, the awards coming in April. Awards include the Tiger to Tiger Mentor of the Year, the Academic Excellence Award, Emerging SNDA Leader Award, and the SNDA Member of the Year. So you gotta log your service. And then seniors will choose the Faculty Award, probably the same ballot as elections.
No, that'll be separate. That only goes to seniors. Yeah, senior choice is seniors vote, so the board will pick 3 faculty members in NFS, and only the seniors can vote on that award, because only the seniors have had everybody.
Never mind, Nicole, is she here? No, Nicole. Nicole did amazing.
She's been killing it on the volunteer stuff and logging her stuff.
Okay. The spring membership drive is still going on, so find a buddy, freshman, sophomore, junior, if you know a senior who is in here, find a buddy and sign them up. So that'll be a service point if they put your name down when they, fill out their application. Connect, all of our little links, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. When you do the takeover, it'll be the Instagram, not the Facebook. Yes.
With Nutrition Month coming up, if y'all have any ideas for posts, or like even if you want to like create something, your girl could use some help because I'm overwhelmed. So like anything, if y'all want to do like creative something, go for it.
Like nutritional, like any kind of random topic on the nutritional group, like this is.
I mean, yeah.
By me to make sure it's like mine.
Like I'll run it through her and
Crazy.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like,
If you want to like,
and-
Fun facts.
Yeah.
kind of the stuff that you post anyway, but make like a visual with it.
so like you can do like recipes, like stuff like that.
Because it helps get your name out there. Yeah. Internships do stuff on Instagram for what y'all are doing. And so if your name is out there being involved and whatnot, they kind of take it. So you don't realize that.
Just like email you with ideas or whatever.
Honestly, you can just make it. And
Just
then
send it.
Make it, and I'll say, okay, or change this.
If you're not able to get the link, find Olivia and she'll write your name down. But that's it. A lot of information got thrown at y'all today, so.
We'll send out the slides.
Yeah, be sure to look at the slides and, look at the all over the
Oh, we gotta take a picture, cause that picture was our like most liked Instagram thing in a while.
Because
So we
everyone
gotta take
saw
another
their
picture.
faces and they're like, ooh.
See, should we do something with the ties?
Yeah.
Let's do something with the ties. Yeah. You have to remember where you picked up your.
Okay. Wait, can I make an announcement?
Oh, yes.
Okay, so on March 28th, we're doing our gift night with Chick-fil-A on Burbank and Her. It's from 12 p.m. to 10 p.m. So it's a really big
You
time
have
frame.
no excuse.
Word.
Yeah,
Like
it's
say
10 hour
spirit
time
night.
period, but you have to mention Spirit Night.
Hold the spirit.
Which Chick-fil-A?
Perfect.
The one on Burbank